Salam and welcome. Thank you for joining me of the English reading of the Quran. For those who are curious, for the non-Muslims who are curious about Islam, and for a revision for the Muslims, this is a translation and commentary by Abdullah Yusuf Ali, published by the Islamic Propagation Center International (IPCI) from Durban in the wonderful land known as South Africa. Right, join me. We are busy now with chapter number 18, Surah Kahf, part number 5. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Behold, we said to the angels, bow down to Adam. They bowed down except Iblis. Iblis is Satan or Shaitan, except Iblis. He was one of the jinns, the unseen, and he broke the command of his Lord. Will you then take him and his progeny as protectors rather than me? And they are enemies to you. Evil would be the exchange for the wrongdoers. I call them not to witness the creation of the heavens and the earth, nor even their own creation, nor is it for me to take as helpers such as lead men astray. One day he will say, call on those whom you thought to be my partners, and they will call on them, but they will not listen to them, and we shall make for them a place of common perdition. And the sinful shall see the fire and apprehend that they have to fall therein. No means will they find to turn away therefrom. We have explained in detail in this Quran, for the benefit of mankind, every kind of similitude, but man is in most things contentious. And what is there to keep back man from believing now that guidance has come to them, nor from praying for forgiveness from their Lord, but that they ask that the ways of the ancients be repeated with them, or that the wrath be brought to them face to face. We only send the messengers to give glad tidings and to give warnings, but the unbelievers dispute with vain argument in order therewith to weaken the truth. And they treat my signs as a jest, as a joke, as also the fact that they are warned. And who does more wrong than one who is reminded of the signs of his Lord, but turns away from them, forgetting the deeds which his hands have sent forth? Verily, we have set veils over their hearts, lest they should understand this, and over their ears deafness. If you call them to guidance, even then will they never accept guidance. But your Lord is most forgiving, full of mercy. If you were to call them at once to account for what they have earned, then surely He would have hastened their punishment. But they have their appointed time, beyond which they will find no refuge. Such were the populations we destroyed when they committed iniquities, but we fixed an appointed time for their destruction. Right, let's look at the commentary between verses 60 to 82. Moses was up against mysteries. Musa alayhi salam was up against mysteries which he wanted to explore. He searched out a man endued with knowledge, derived from the divine springs from which flow the paradoxes of life. He is shown three such paradoxes, and how human impatience is inconsistent with their true understanding. The highest knowledge comes not except by divine gift, and a constant patient striving with faith to apprehend something of the purpose of the all-wise God. And according to tradition, the person that he met is known as Khidr alayhi salam, the evergreen, the ongoing. Right, okay, let's continue with that. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Behold, Moses said to his attendant, I will not give up until I reach the junction of the two seas, or until I spend years and years in travel. But when they reached the junction, they forgot about the fish, which took its course through the sea straight as in a tunnel in a marvelous way. Let's just see what there's an interesting commentary say. There's something significant about the fish here. 2408. Let's just read here. 2408. Moses was to go and find a servant of God who would instruct him in such knowledge as he had not already got. So this person was more knowledgeable than Moses. He was to take a fish with him. The place where he was to meet his mysterious teacher would be indicated by the fact that the fish would disappear when he got to that place. The fish is the emblem of the fruit of secular knowledge, which merges itself in divine knowledge at the point where human intelligence is ready for the junction of the two, the junction between the secular knowledge and the divine knowledge. But the mere merger of secular knowledge does not in itself produce divine knowledge. The latter has to be sought patiently, and the fact that the secular knowledge, to attain the higher knowledge, you've got to leave your secular knowledge behind, you've got to leave your fish behind, and that's the only way that you'll get a higher spiritual knowledge. Right? So let's continue with this. And here furthermore he makes a note: the mysterious man he meets, to whom tradition assigns the name of Khidr alayhi salam. Khidr literally means green, is the type of that knowledge which is evergreen, fresh and flourishing, ever in contact with life as it is actually lived, and not merely crystallized in books or second-hand sayings. The second kind of knowledge has its uses, but it's only a stepping stone to the first kind of knowledge, which is true knowledge and which is the knowledge from God directly. Right? There are paradoxes in life. Apparent loss may be real gain, apparent cruelty may be real mercy, returning good for evil may really be justice and not generosity. God's wisdom transcends all human calculation. Right? So there are 4 points in the story. Let's just briefly recapitulate here. This episode in the story of Moses is meant to illustrate 4 points. Firstly, Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians. Remember, he grew up as a royal prince, so he was taught all the various knowledges, right? Even so, that wisdom did not comprehend everything. Even as the whole stock of the knowledge of the present day in the sciences and arts and in literature, if it could be supposed to be gathered in one individual, does not include all knowledge, because divine knowledge, as far as man is concerned, is unlimited, right? It is infinite. Knowledge of Allah is infinite. Even after Moses received his divine mission of apostleship or as a messenger, his knowledge was not so perfect that it could not receive further additions, right? There's no limit to knowledge. And point number 2, constant effort is necessary to keep our knowledge square with the march of time, and such effort Moses is shown to be making. Thirdly, the mysterious man he meets, to whom tradition assigns the name of Khidr alayhi salam, is the type of that knowledge which is evergreen, fresh and flourishing, ever in contact with life as it is actually lived, and not merely crystallized in books or second-hand saying. The second kind of knowledge has its uses, but it's only a stepping stone to the first kind of knowledge, which is a true knowledge which is directly from God. There are paradoxes in life, as we'll see when he broke the ship, so apparent loss may be real gain. Then when he killed a youth, so apparent cruelty may be real mercy. When he fixed a wall without any repayment, then returning good for evil may really be justice and not generosity. So that is the higher levels of wisdom that we'll see that Musa alayhi salam is being taught by Khidr alayhi salam. So join me in the next episode where we will continue with the story of Musa alayhi salam and his meeting with this amazing human being known as Khidr alayhi salam. Right? So join me in the next episode of chapter 18, part number 6. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Alhamdulillah.